Part of our self-declared little cable news mission here in Afghanistan is to figure out what we can about what things are like for the Americans who are serving here. You and me, civilians, because these Americans are here at the direction of our civilian politicians, we are incurring a debt, a lifelong debt to the Americans serving in uniform here to honor them and assume some public responsibility for them for the rest of their lives as veterans. Part of that responsibility, part of respecting that service, is understanding what exactly it is that we are asking them to do here, not just how much danger we're putting them in, but why we're doing it. This is Sergeant Sean Robinson, who's here at Checkpoint 710. Checkpoint 710 is between the Arghandab district and Kandahar City. Is that right?
That's right.
How far out does the Arghandab district start from here?
Right. You can see it from here, that bridge right there where that bus is now.
I see. So right here.
That's the Arghandab.
Arghandab is famous in the States right now because people know about how much fighting is going on there.
Right, yeah.
The role of this checkpoint is to stop the trouble in the Arghandab from also becoming the trouble in Kandahar City?
Definitely. We're
at Checkpoint 74, which is on the southwest edge of Kandahar City. The idea of the checkpoints is that there will be 13 of them ringing the city, essentially to disrupt the freedom of movement of insurgents who may be operating between Kandahar City and outlying areas. We're here now with the company commander, who's Captain John Thomas. Captain Thomas oversees or leads 4 platoons, one of which is based here, a 19-man U.S. platoon that's serving alongside 30 ANCOP, which is the civil order police, sort of an elite part of the Afghan National Police Force. Captain Thomas, thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it. In terms of what we're overlooking here, this is a pretty nice paved road. And this is heading out of Kandahar City.
Yes.
Where does this road go?
This is towards Panjwai.
Okay. Panjwai and
Zari.
And Zari are 2 regions where there's been a lot of fighting, a lot of insurgent activity. So what's the mission of this checkpoint and of the other 3 checkpoints that you lead?
So within my area of operations here in Subdistrict 7, each of these checkpoints is strategically placed on one of the main routes in and out of the city with the purpose of interdicting or disrupting the freedom of movement, as you said, of the insurgents either coming into Kandahar City or going out. So that way we can kind of be that outer gate so that if they want to come in, they've got to come through us first to allow that outer cordon of protection, and that way the inner city police, the AMP, the ANA, the GIRO folks can focus more on developing and establishing their inner security. So it's more of an augmentation force initially.
In terms of this checkpoint, earlier today we were at a police substation. Police substation has a different mission, which is that they're static, they're there to be a resource to the community and also to be security. You're here to stop traffic, check it before you allow it to go through. What are you looking for? How do you know if a person that you're stopping is trouble?
Well, you never know, but there's indicators, and what you try and look for is, multiple military-age males, or a vehicle that looks like it's weighed down, or a vehicle that's acting erratically, or some immediate indicators that should trigger the person to stop them and search them.
So this is Lieutenant Dre Malon, who's from Richmond, Virginia. And Lieutenant Malon is in charge of this specific checkpoint, in charge of the U.S. forces at this specific checkpoint. Again, this is Checkpoint 74. And as the platoon leader here, he's in charge of the U.S. forces, 19 men. They're partnered with ANCOP, with the Afghan National Civil Order Police. There's a larger force of them, about 30 of them here. And Checkpoint 74 is sort of just getting set up, right? You just arrived.
It sure is. You should have seen it a week ago. There was nothing here, but we've gotten them pretty set.
Because this is brand new, locals are just now experiencing what it means to have a checkpoint here where there didn't used to be one. Have you had any reaction that you can tell us about so far?
Sure. Actually, the compound that's right here to our right, closest to our tower.
Right here, yeah.
They were very skeptical because of their culture. The tower would look over their compound, and they had adolescent females in the compound, so they had problems with it. So if you can see, that one's lower than all the other towers to try to placate the local population.
I see.
Just so they came in, they saw how our tower didn't look in, and it really gained us a lot of credibility instantly in this area with the people.
U.S. forces are supposed to start withdrawing this time next year. ANCOP is expected to leave here 4 to 6 months. Can you envision this being done by Afghans only, ANP only in this working?
I can't, and I would tell you 10 months ago I would have told you absolutely not, but when we first got in country working with the ANA, working with the AMP in Zabul province, to see the progression that they made was just incredible.
How'd they make them through training?
Through training, at first they were reluctant without our technology, without our weaponry to go out, but as soon as by the end of the time we left Zabul, they would go out without us and then tell us about it later, just because they just needed the confidence boost to be able to go out independently, and we were able to accomplish that, so I don't think it'll be any different here.
Again, the point of a checkpoint like this is that the locals here will choose essentially to ally with the legitimate government, with the legitimate forces, the Afghan police, the Afghan governance, after these guys are gone, and actually after the elite Afghan police who are here with them are gone. And there's competition for the locals' loyalties. This is a Taliban stronghold, a lot of fighting in Panjwai, spiritual home in Kandahar City. When these folks leave, will the Taliban be offering more to the locals than this government and these police force that's being stood up? That's the question of the success of the war. So this is Captain Tad Lyman. He's from Longmeadow, Mass., which is close to where I'm from in western Massachusetts. He's been in Afghanistan for 10 months. He's been here in what I like to think of as South Central Kandahar City for 3 days. Captain Lyman, first, thanks for taking time to talk to us.
My pleasure.
In terms of, I mean, there's a bunch of local folks who've come out since we've been here. We drove up in this big convoy, walked over here to see you. And it's clear that people feel comfortable being around these young men here. Very happy to be around here. Right. Don't seem to be scared. What's the interaction like between ANCOP, who you're working with, the soldiers, American soldiers who you're working with, and the local folks? What are you asking of them, and what's it been like?
It's been very positive so far. The locals, they're somewhat wary of our presence, but they know that we're here to help support their government and help make them safer. So some people, there are mixed reactions. Some people are a little wary. Most of the children are very receptive and willing to come up and talk to us and talk to my soldiers, and they feel safer knowing that their Afghan National Police are beginning to protect them and offer an alternative to the enemy's security.
I mean, looking down here though, through the substation, through this checkpoint, I mean, when I look at that, if I lived here, I would feel like this is a hassle. I mean, yes, you're offering security, but isn't this also sort of, do they feel put upon by this additional layer of militarized security that they never had to deal with before?
They're not excited about the level of construction and the noise, but once the construction is complete and all these vehicles stop coming in and out, I believe there'll be a return to normalcy, and change always comes with a little bit of hesitation and some wariness, but through time, and if we can show them the results we're hoping to show them, hopefully they'll grow more accustomed to it.
In terms of any resentment that is provoked by your presence, either in the short term or in the long run, and I hear you when you say that in the long run you hope that it'll dissipate and you'll be seen as positive, but even in the short run, while there is resentment, isn't that an opportunity for the insurgency to win more locals over? Because in resistance to you.
Right. There is a risk that our presence will aggravate some people and push them towards the other side. But we hope, since we're partnered with the Afghan National Police, that the people will see that it's not an American presence. We're here temporarily, but we're bringing the Afghan National Police here permanently, and that they will provide the security. And as soon as the people view the Afghan National Police as a legitimate and professional force that's able to secure them, then my presence is no longer needed. And I can go back to America with my family, and Americans can stop coming. But first, we have to give the Afghan National Police the ability to secure their own city.
Well, Captain Lyman, when you are, if you're back in Longmeadow, can I take you to the Student Prince and buy you one of those enormous steins of beer?
Sounds good.
Congratulations on everything you've done so far. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will buy him that beer at the Student Prince, too, wouldn't you? We are live from Afghanistan. We'll be right back.